Oh my God. It's him.
Jordan's on the show.
How?
Hey, Jordan. No, I couldn't get him, but he sent us a video message.
I can see it. I'm excited to really. I want to see what he has to say.
Oh yeah, he is. He's got some pretty interesting things that he sent you. So here we go. Here we go.
His mouth looks like a butthole kind of.
He's got a butthole mouth. What's up with that?
Yeah. I think that's something that happened at some point in between like millennial and whatever he is. There's one in there that's just like there's boomers, Gen Z, millennial, all those, and then there's one little time period where there's not even a good name. It's just a state of being, like the person stepped in gum or they threw up on themselves. Whatever that is, that's what Jordan is.
Well, can you hear him okay?
He's kind of soft spoken, but
he is.
I didn't expect any less.
All right, let's hear what he has to say.
You're looking at Jordan Preisinger, black belt extraordinaire. I'd mop the floor with all your Jiu-Jitsu heroes. Nelson Gracie? Psh, I'd triangle him so fast you think he's stuck in a yoga class. But that's small fry stuff. Let me tell you about the real legends I destroy. Mike Tyson in his prime? Ha! I take him down faster than you can say, bite the ear. He'd come at me with that pigeon-powered punch, and I'd just slip into an armbar. Boom. Iron Mike's tapping out, crying for his mama. I'd be like, sorry, champ, your heavyweight belt's no match for my jiu-jitsu swag. Mike Tyson's not even a grappler, dude. Doesn't matter. I'd choke out his aura. And don't get me started on Superman. Yeah, that Kryptonian clown. He'd fly in all smug with his cape, and I'd hit him with the flying guillotine. Oh, but Jordan? He's invincible. Nope. I'd use my secret weapon. Kryptonite sweat. One whiff of my post-rolling gi, and he's donezo. Clark Kent's out cold, and I'm selling his cape on eBay. And Batman? That brooding bat freak. Please. He's got all those gadgets, but I'd snap his utility belt mid-fight, and I'd use it to tie him up in a bow and arrow choke. Oh, I'm the Dark Knight. Not anymore, Bruce. You're the tapped-out knight. I'd leave him gargling gravel in that gravelly voice. Jordan Preisinger is my sensei. Listen up, peasants. You're looking at...
That was interesting.
You know what the thing is that Jordan Preisinger thinks exactly like this. It's like, but I mean, we can't speak for him, right? This is just us and what we think. But from what I've seen in my one-on-one interactions with him, for sure, that is perfect. That's what would he not say that was just said?
I mean, that's pretty much what he says about everybody. I mean, not Superman and Batman, but that wasn't the real him? I thought that was the real Jordan, wasn't
it? If not for those butthole lips, I would have known that it was him, because his looked like sleeve of wizard, kind of like old raggedy, like Borat's wife. If you know. Hang like sleeve of wizard.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I got one more. We actually got Oleg. No.
I bet it's him.
No. There's only one person that could do Oleg, and it's not me, sir.
Oh, I can do Oleg.
All I need for you to do is like look straight in the camera and basically take a video of your lips doing the voice, and try not to move left to right or up or down. Just try to keep the camera still, and then just do the whole Oleg bit, and then I'll edit it with Oleg's face, and then we can make an episode just like that with Oleg.
Just write down what we said in the video, and then do exactly what you just said, really tight, no movement, just lips saying exactly what was said.
Yeah, you might have to shave. I found that Jordan had a little beard, so it kind of worked a little bit with my beard. But you might have to shave the goatee or something, or find a picture of him.
Does he? Oh yeah, no, he's got a beard and a lot of. I mean, he had one when he fought in Pride.
Perfect.
So that'd be easy. That'd be super easy. He had one in. Didn't he have one in not in Aliens, maybe 15 Minutes. I can't remember, but he's been bearded in quite a few things. But you've got something from him here.
No, I'm just messing around. I dicked around and did that whole. It took me 2 hours to do that.
No, I knew that it wasn't. Of course, you didn't make anything about Oleg.
No. But if you send me a video of your lips doing the Oleg voice, I can add Oleg's picture onto your lips.
I thought you were going to say a picture of your dong, and then you can, because the whole thing is dong related.
That would be entertaining, but only to me. I'm trying to entertain all of our fans, all 20 of them.
If Oleg turned around and it was like, oh, excuse me, but that would have been the best part of the whole video.
Well, if you turned around, you actually saw the dong.
And it was like that kind of little situation. This little guy.
Little pee-pee.
It would be the opposite of what happened with Nick at Octagon that time when I had got PTSD from him. That was brutal, man. Not just funny and like, yeah, it's a funny scenario and he's running around and it's a good story to tell. But when a dude you know, I mean, let's be real. When a dude you know that is indeed small, frail, bony, skeletonized kind of guy, you don't expect to see extremities like you would if he was like, hey, let's go for a ride, and his hand came up here and it was like that big around, you'd be like, what's up with that hand?
Like The Rock.
That hand came up. Yeah, that's something's not right. That ain't right. Or he turned around and he had a freaking tail, and his tail was like, he was able to balance on his tail like a kangaroo. That would be like superhuman. That's amazing. That's what happened at Octagon MMA that day. It was damaging to witness it, but only because of what's the word? I let myself down. Not only that, I found out there are human beings that are built that way. I didn't know that. So I learned a big lesson that day.
I mean,
it was just...
He told me he surprised the hell of those two strippers that doubled up on him.
Well, anybody that has watched our show that knows who we're talking about already knows what the truth is. I bet they somehow... They either contacted Nick or they know Nick somehow, or
no,
they can.
He told me. He told me he wanted to just for a laugh. He wanted to post a picture of like him with those two ladies, and he posted on his Facebook. And he got, what did he tell me? He's like, I got 3 likes, 8 loves. It was like, 11. Wow faces or whatever, exclamation faces, and he lost 8 friends. And he took it down because his dad called him, and his dad and his brother called him and said, hey, your grandma and your aunts and your cousins are on here, and it's probably a bad look. And he's like,
Yeah.
that's how I roll. But he decided to take it down because his dad called him. He had a long talk with his dad.
He's a dual individual, though. I could have seen that, like you saying that he would have said, like, no, I'm not going to take it down. No way, no how.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that, but then I could also see him saying, I totally get it. I totally understand. No problem. I'll take it down. I could see both things 100% happening. But what I was going to say is, dude, wow faces and smiley faces, Nick has gotten one from me, not on Facebook, but just in life itself every day since I've known him. So I don't know how many likes that is, but it's like over 1,000.
Well, I was asking him, like, okay, so how many friends you got left? Because you lost 8. And he's like, I got like 4,000.
Yeah, that's true. And they're ranging from like Hickson to me and you and people, you know, everybody in between. It's like the complete jiu-jitsu tree is there. So those 8 people.
I think the Brazilians would be proud, man. Like, yeah, Nick is basically using jiu-jitsu as his own personal, like, superpower. And it just gave him so much confidence. You know? Like, he's like, talking shit to other dudes and fucking, just, slinging...
Pulling women.
Slinging dick to whoever wants it.
If what is the thing? If Nick truly mastered jiu-jitsu, I would say he would be able to use it for things outside of jiu-jitsu, like in his regular life. And that's what he's done. So I think you don't have to measure everything based around how good somebody rolls. He rolls very well for a small guy that would never be able to touch anybody ever. Like, either one of us with no jiu-jitsu would still beat Nick up bad. And with jiu-jitsu, he's got a chance. That's the truth. He's got a freaking chance. So that right there, the knowledge that he has, I got a chance. Not only that, if they don't know jiu-jitsu, I got a real good chance. And I'm like the plot to every movie ever where it's like Rudy or something like that, where the guy shouldn't be victorious, but yet he is. So that mastery of the art, in his case, I think, is him mastering his ability to be confident and interact with people. Because he's better at that than us. We're better at, you know, talking crap in these videos. Maybe not right now, but he's not made for podcasts or videos. Like, I wanted to strangle him to death after that. You know, the one where he went to the circus and then he was getting like chicken nuggets and all kind of weird crap. Golly. But
he's been pretty on point and on task on the podcast that me and him do, because I kind of rein him in.
Well, my point being, though, that I've made many times, but I want to say in a different way, is that Nick has actually benefited from jiu-jitsu in a major way, and profound, so much so that anybody can look at him, talk to him, hang out with him, and experience the human being that he is, which is a meek, like silly, kind-hearted, very I would say gentle, just very meek, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also not made to be a fighter. You know, everybody has challenges, and he's got big challenges. So from his position, his like starting block where he started was about 20 miles behind mine and 20 miles behind yours. Like, I think you got excellent athleticism. I have excellent athleticism at a point. Like, we get in good shape, and then at that point, we've got good athleticism. Nick doesn't have athleticism at all. He's just got to make technique work right. Mm-hmm. And going through that process, it triggered in his brain the merited self-confidence that jiu-jitsu gives, that like, I can genuinely fight and win, and even if the guy's good, I got a chance. And he would have never had that ever in his lifetime, ever. But with jiu-jitsu, he's able to use that mindset and the experience over the years when he talks to people, because he just talking to girls, he knows one thing. Every guy you've ever talked to, probably, I could have choked him to death. And I'm this guy. I could have killed him. I could have choked him to death. And if he walks in right now, I might choke him to death. That's a pretty strong position for him to be sitting in. And he lives his whole life like that, as you know. Like, he believed. He's a full believer. I wish every person that did jiu-jitsu got that same thing, because we got it, but not everybody has it. Some people are tied to roles. They're tied to tournaments. They're tied to what people think. They're tied to what they think, how they should roll. But Nick, me, you, we're going to benefit from jiu-jitsu no matter what, to the like maximum forever. And that's a position to be at that is like savory. You know what I mean? It's that's the good stuff. I don't know how many people actually have it. What do you think? Do you think everybody gets it?
No. And some people will, you know, like, there's been stages. Like, there's some people that will go, maybe they'll start their jiu-jitsu journey and they'll go really hard and they'll get injured and then they'll get sidelined and maybe they never come back, but sometimes they come back. You know, I'm just now getting at a good pace now where I'm going regularly and I'm feeling great, like, as far as like energy levels and everything. So technique is starting to click, and I'm doing a bunch of really technical, like, multi-step 10th planet stuff. So it's very interesting. I find it very stimulating.
Do you think the advanced position that you're at now has you at a different perspective, though, as far as how you exist in the world? Maybe not necessarily from the higher belted perspective of like, I need to be gentle, I need to be good to the people, I need to take care of them, otherwise I can hurt them. Or is it the same perspective you had right from the start when we started dealing with like how to perceive yourself in jiu-jitsu? Same?
Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding the question. Do I feel the need to be peaceful? I mean,
no. Let me clarify. When you after a short while with taking private lessons with me, at some point there became a mantra of like, how to perceive yourself and how to perceive other people around you, just like on a day-to-day basis. And that's, I would say, the point where you if not outright stopped, at least took it way back, how much you let people get away with and how you react to people in a kind of confrontational situation. Because you look at it a different way. And that started at white belt. Has that perspective changed through blue, purple to now? Or is it the same perspective, just as far as I need to, give them as much space as I can. I need to let people out. I need to back down, etc.
Yeah, that's kind of hard because when I was training with you and I was a white belt and blue belt, I was doing security, so I would have like interactions with people and I'd have to be assertive.
Yeah.
But now I don't really. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had to be in a situation like that. So it's pretty peaceful. I just kind of look around. Like if somebody's walking towards me, I just make sure it's not a threat, and then I just go about my day. But it'd be oh, you know what? Like because I told you there was the two masked up dudes in sweats that came into CVS. I was like, oh shit, something about to go down. I'm not getting robbed, and I'm I'm ready to pull my concealed carry if I need to. And I was like, hey, we gotta go. Like these guys look like they're about to like rob this place. So I don't know. But and
it turns out they did it.
I mean, I don't know that they did. I don't know that they did. I never found out that they did or they didn't. But they certainly looked like if I was gonna rob a CVS, that's how I would do it. I'd wear a full mask.
Yeah.
You can only see my eyes. Like it's not COVID anymore. Like why are you wearing a full mask? Like that's just.
They know also that they don't have, for the most part, like security, especially not armed security, and really they just need to get away with not being seen for like 6 minutes. Yeah. And if they can, they're good. But
and they're not allowed to chase them, right?
No, you're sure not. You're not allowed to even think about chasing them. Because if you think in that direction, then you chase them. But what I was thinking as far as the mindset goes, that my mindset did change in a little way. That right when the technique started to present, where I felt like I could tap out probably everybody that is around me at any given time. It started a chain reaction that started with, I bet I could tap out everybody in this room right now. Like no matter where I walk in, the first thought is, I'm the toughest person here. I wonder how many people are here. There's like 20,000 people. I can tap them all out easy. But then it starts to progress to, I don't know that I could tap out all these people. There might be like a good wrestler here. There might be a black belt at Jiu-Jitsu. There just might be somebody that's having a real good day, that's strong and explosive and believes in themselves like fully. And they catch me when I don't. Anything is possible. So there's a little change that happens there. I still feel like I can beat them all, but I know it's not just a fact. Then it goes to, unless there's some crazy thing like that, they're like a high caliber wrestler or have trained longer, which is extremely unlikely, or that they're such a beast that they're going to tap out, somebody that's done jiu-jitsu for a long time. in this scenario where punches are thrown. It's super unlikely. So I go back to, yeah, I can tap out everybody in a real fight or a roll. Everybody. And then it all comes back around to, no, the truth is, there have been beginners that have tapped me out. That's it. That's the truth. That chances are extremely good that I can beat everybody there, no matter where it is. But I don't know that at all. So acting like that and using that as like your mindset when it is not true is detrimental to you. The truth is the best frame of mind to be in. Like, I'm pretty good. Unless something goes crazy, I'm gonna beat 99.9% of people in a fight when I defend myself against them, whatever the case may be. But just walking into a situation and thinking some kind of thought about how tough you are, that doesn't happen anymore. Thankfully, I'm out of that phase. So that's kind of my question is, do you have those phases? And if not, did you have any similar phases?
Sure. I definitely at one point I was like really feeling myself and I was like, oh shoot, I'm kicking ass. I'm like doing great in these like local tournaments, you know. And you know, got in a couple street fights and felt pretty good about those interactions. So, you know.
Yeah, you did great. You did good in those interactions. The person didn't get hurt, and you could have hurt them. And
I was thinking about the Walmart situation. I mean, he got a little hurt.
Well,
but
he
sucker punched me.
He
sucker punched me, that asshole.
Then you're asking for it, but two, you could have hurt him worse. I don't even know how the whole thing went, but I know you could have hurt him worse. That's all I know. So,
but he's untrained. I mean, you barely, you know, you do a lazy double leg, they're going down. You know what I mean? Like they don't even move their feet back at all. They don't even know what a sprawl is.
No, they fall like they're on ice. People very, very rarely does somebody like push your head down or do some skilled defense, and when it happens, it's like I'm almost shocked. But so that frame of mind that you were in right there was, I'm smoking these dudes at the tournaments. I could smoke everybody that, for the most part, everybody that I run into. Is that kind of where you are all day long at that time?
Oh, for sure. You know, and I think I felt that way until I went to like my first, like when I went to ADCC and all the fans were like coaches and stuff. It was like a whole bunch of like jiu-jitsu guys from all over the world.
How did it change?
You just know everybody like knows jiu-jitsu out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you had the same kind of deal where it's like, chances are I can beat most people here, but if they're those dudes that are smoking me, then I'm not going to beat them. So I can still run around thinking that I'm like hot stuff, but I know that I'm not that hot. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, no, I just was just like, you don't know, because it's not like everybody's wearing their belts out in the halls, you know, or, you know what I mean, like, and some guys, you can kind of tell by their body language, like, those guys are definitely not, like, alpha dudes.
Yeah.
They're worried about the same thing most of us are worried about, like, who in here is, like, a real deal. So.
Yeah, because you can't tell who the best guy in the room is so hard to tell. beforehand, if you had a big class and you're all sitting around the wall and somebody says, I'll give you $1,000 if you tell me the top 5 people in this room from like 5th best, 4th best, 3rd best, 2nd, and the best. Don't count the instructor. Just kind of look around and give me your ideas. I bet you would get probably, well, if they didn't have belts on, you might not get any of them right. If they had belts on, you probably get like half of them right. Because there's going to be a couple of guys that'll smash, and then a couple of guys that'll like teach everybody, like me. And then maybe there's somebody that literally can smash everybody in the place all the time, like Scott Phillips. Man. You could pick him out. You know, if you walked in, you could pick him out easily. Like, that guy's going to be the best guy. So we don't count him. Wouldn't you agree that
he's got like something in his eyes, right? It's like he's got this glint in his eyes. It's hard to describe. You know what I mean? Because I guess
have you ever been to the zoo and walk across like the crocodiles or like bears or something like that, where they're just kind of looking at you? They know there's something between you, but you can tell in their eyes that they have death in their eyes right now, and it's you. If you've ever seen that, felt that, know what that is, that's what it is. That's what Scott has. But he softens it greatly with like kindness.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. Very friendly.
Super nice guy.
Good.
But there's death. There's death. Death coming and coming soon. Like, your death is imminent if I want it to be. That's the vibe. And that's the guy that Jordan, to turn this thing back around, that's one of the guys that Jordan Preisinger says that he would tap him. He would beat him in a roll easy, and he would beat him in a real fight. That's the guy. There's a lot of people on the planet that I've trained with that I could probably get away with saying, like, I could beat them in a fight or a roll or something, where they're probably like better than me and they know it and I know it, but I can get away with it. Well, this is not one of those situations. This is like a mountain versus like a little ball of like rotten apples or something, like nasty rotten apple peels, versus a mountain of pure silver.
You know, John's going to hear this, and he's going to probably send us another angry message.
Well, he'll have to answer to this, because I believe 100% it's true. He didn't just say he could beat anybody. He said he could beat these dudes it would be like trying to beat, either it's an old dog, but it's an old Rottweiler, and you have another old dog, but it turns out it's a lion. Now, they're older, but are you going to get like, let's lock each other up in a room, like us with them, and we're going to say, just attack and go until one of you is dead. You're dead. that in that context, a lion or a human, or Rottweiler or a human, the chances are astronomical. For a human to beat a freaking lion, I mean, the Monte Leon, right? But Jordan would be kicking and screaming, hollering for his mama, trying to get out the sunroof. Well, that's what he should be like with Scott Phillips. He just doesn't know that. I know that. But what can I say? Unless you have been chased by a lion or been bitten by one, then you really don't know what a lion bite is like. You don't know what the sensation is. You felt bites and you felt being chased, but you didn't feel a true predator chasing you to cause death. And very few creatures on the planet have ever felt that. Like Osama bin Laden, people like that have, but not normies. No. That's what Jordan is, a normie. Jordan is a little normie that wears little tidy whities and somehow gets them thick. Like it looks like he's wearing a diaper underneath it. Because I've seen that look before where you're wearing like little panty things. But then why do they have this much padding in them? What we need to talk, Jordan.
I think
something's going on there. Yeah, he does. We need to talk about what's underneath those trousers, my friend, because it's not genitalia. You know what I mean?
Well, didn't he get stabbed in the butthole?
He did. Whenever he was a young man, over, I guess, his 15 and 16-year-old summertime, he was brutally stabbed in the butthole.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I was talking about that show he was on where he pulled guard with the knife fighter.
They stabbed him in the butthole too, but this was he invited the first one, and this was a whole separate scenario. And I just heard this from the dude that stabbed his butthole. But he's a great guy. He graduated a little bit early because all he did is cook all day long at school. They had a class where they cooked and do things to get ready for life. And this guy was a good guy. And I don't want to make light of the situation. The guy's a stand-up guy. He just cooked all day and really didn't have a whole lot of schooling. But this is the guy, it turns out, that stabbed Jordan right in the butt. And
did he pull guard there?
You would think that he would say, like, stop that, or whatever. But evidently, he asked him to come back next year. So it's a crazy story and a gross, nasty story. I can't confirm it's 100% true. It rings true because as soon as he had a chance on that show, that dude pulled that knife and he gave him his butthole right away. So that points in the direction that we know what happened. But I don't know. I don't know if I wasn't there to see it and mock it and call attention to the fact that it's a poor comprehension of self-defense. It's a misunderstanding of Jiu-Jitsu, and it's a misapplication of the technique. So from a brown belt to a black belt, tighten it up, quit giving up your butthole, and do better, Jordan. The end.